There is a massive influx of energy coming in from various sources: the sun, other galaxies, and higher dimensions all working together. The higher dimensions work along with these natural cycles, knowing when it is the best time for them to act on our behalf. When these energies enter our system, they amplify and accelerate everything, creating chaos, exposing the dark side in ourselves and the external world. It all comes to the surface. We have to own our dark side, or it will be used against us, or as an opening to influence or possess. There is a lot of information about the cabal surrendering and the unseen negative forces, ETs and others being removed. It is a work in progress. Different aspects of the cabal continue to surface along with well-hidden, regenerate ETs. This includes hybrids and people who became empty vessels for them to enter. When they do surface, they are being dealt with by masters seen and unseen, which again is a work in process. Although the removal process is almost complete, the earthbound negativity is harder to address because it falls under a different category, some of which earth people have to deal with. The social engineering and cognitive dissonance of the masses was underestimated, along with the depth of infiltration. Unfortunately, it will take some real hard lessons to shake many of the socially engineered out of their denial. Most believe their governments are serving them, when in fact it has not been their government for quite some time. It is important to realize for some, this is the part of their eternal soul's plan and cannot be interfered with. In their light review, they will ask, how did this happen? And a being of light will answer, we sent many messengers, you dismissed them and called them conspiracy theories. The denial is what allowed evil to flourish, as well as people intellectually reasoning what they know in their hearts to be wrong actions. Those who are already trespassing unseen negative influences, regenerate ETs for example, can and are being dealt with due to the breaking of universal law. Free will be honored. This is why you are still seeing heinous acts like directed energy weapons being used, fires in the middle of winter in frozen snow-covered mountains, steel melting, which is impossible under normal conditions, stepping up in chemtrails, psychotronics, and other actions to silence the awakened and the awakening. There are the lockdowns, mask and vaccine mandates, and extreme population control measures. This will persist until people awaken, rise, and resist. Far too many people are still participating in these draconian measures, willingly or in ignorance, and lack the courage and integrity to stop participating. This is where the harsh lessons continue. Many want God or the benevolent ETs to swoop down and end it all. They have intervened on those who have been trespassing, yet it is not their job to interfere in choice, action, reaction, and gaining wisdom from experiences, good or bad, which is how we evolve, especially if they were never invited to the party. In order to deal with these energies here on earth, one has to have a firm foundation in universal law or spiritual law. Universal peace, brother or sisterly love, individual freedom and prosperity for all is the foundation. Another law is one cannot take from another what is not theirs, or keep what is not theirs. Competition as well only has merit in a false identity of being separate. If the Creator is omnipresent in all creation, who are you competing with? Gossip, trespassing, or speaking for others gets into a very grey area. This goes back to Byron Katie's work about three kinds of business: your business, other people's business, and God's business. Other people's business is God's business. All will reveal itself in the days to come, with or without us. Think about how much energy would be conserved if one got on with one's own business, one's own unique sole purpose. What if all that energy was not expanded on other people's business? How about the socially engineered external sense gratification? We can self-righteously defend stepping into other people's business, but is this aligned with spirit? Is it really our job? Is there a belief in victims or our own victim patterns drawing us into these never-ending dramas? Do we have chinks in our armor, our own unhealed wounds, traumas, wrong conclusions from past experiences, drawing us into undesirable experiences? I want to tell you a story. There was a little girl. She loved everyone, trusted everyone, and loved nature. As she grew in years, she projected those same values on others. She did not lie, deceive, would never take advantage, betray, or harm anyone. As she grew up, she was lied to, deceived, taken advantage of, betrayed, and other trespasses were made upon her. Although she saw the best in everyone, not everyone had the same values and ideals. She had two options: live in fear or be a victim wanting revenge, or release the past and gain the wisdom from the experience to get back to her true nature. On the path to getting back to her true nature, she was confronted by other confused, angry, fearful, and controlling people, spirits seen and unseen doing everything they could to dissuade her. If she was successful, it meant that they had to own their wounds, traumas, and beliefs they project on her. Their world as they know it would end. This is what is unfolding now. These negative influences are multidimensional, and we need a good foundation to move through them unaffected. That little girl, as she aged and gained the wisdom now, knows there is a dark side. She now knows how to navigate, set boundaries, and maintain her center while everyone else is stepping out of theirs. She realizes trust is earned and not to be given freely to those who have not earned it. The innocence has turned into wisdom, and she is no longer a victim. She is navigating the chaos from the heart. Not everyone is going to win this battle. Many will rise to the top yet fail because they underestimated the dark side, which knew exactly where the chinks in their armor are and how to use them against them. The dark side knew their fears and what angers them, their denials, guilt, even how to use their own compassion for others against them. The dark side knows your weaknesses, your desires, what many call needs. It will challenge each one of these to find a way in, in to take the wheel and determine your fate or destiny. It hides in the emptiness of unfulfilled desires, beliefs in the external to provide your love, joy, happiness, safety, and abundance. All of this needs to be found from within. Going within keeps you centered in your power. The dark side will say, I can protect you. I will teach you how to do the same thing to others tenfold they did to you. You will have power over others. No one will ever harm you again. They will promise fame and fortune if you just turn your life over to them. The big question is, just who is them? And who do they answer to? Of course all this comes with a price. That price has been paid again and again with top people in the various fields who started out with high ideals and are now trapped within a system that serves ungodly masters. Over the years, we have watched people rise only to fall in the various communities. We have watched the shift from ego to spiritual ego, followed by narcissistic behavior. The last step in this downward spiral is possession by darker forces. A good foundation with humility and learning to become the observer with loving detachment are necessary to avoid these pitfalls. Love has always been the ultimate power, along with service to others. When we ignore the basics, stop coming from love and service, we shift from empowering others to competition, overpowering others, againstness, and divide ourselves from the whole. Yes, I know againstness is not a word, yet it will be in the future. The most powerful method of leadership is to go within. Make your own personal God, creator, great spirit connection, and lead yourself from the heart. The soul rests in the heart and your soul is connected to the source. We have to use discernment concerning any channeled messages from others and drop into the heart, feel the message. Is it empowering? Does it align with universal law? Is it beneficial? Many jump from one channel to another, distracted by the next shiny object and always looking outside of themselves for truth. The more outrageous the information, the more followers. Yet we cannot ignore the basics. Ignoring the basics is why we have so much division. Our last hurdle will be very challenging. There are ancient ones, some call them jinn, serpent beings, royal reptilians, which have remained well hidden. These are extremely powerful entities. Few are trained in dealing with them, and many beautiful beings have succumbed to them. There are still grey alliance intrusions now and then, whereas most of the reptilian and negative greys have been removed. Some pop up now and then. We also have reptilian and grey hybrids occupying high levels of power. Then there are humans that became empty vessels, allowing these negative entities to enter their bodies. On a lower level, we have discarnate humans still trapped in the astral world or fourth dimension, trying to work out unfinished business, addictions, etc., vicariously through incarnated humans. At the highest level of power over others are the controllers, the ones behind the mandates and disempowering agendas. They are the war and disease profiteers, often referred to as the Illuminati or Cabal, and their god revels in the abject poverty, pain, suffering, and death. They will create as much division as possible to topple leaders in the awakening and healing community. As long as the socially engineered, critically thinking, research impaired, morally challenged people do their bidding, they will continue. The good news is none of this negativity is frequency specific to the ascension process well underway. This brings us back to not depending on external sources, creating a strong spiritual foundation, and making your own personal God, creator, great spirit connection. Establishing and trusting your own inner guidance. This first impression, that gut feeling that says something isn't right. One of the most overpowering ways of dealing with unseen negative influences is the healing prayer that I have on my channel about clearing your space. Use it often, meditate, and again create a strong personal God connection and foundation in universal law. It is also what Babaji once said: the best contribution anyone can make is to live a thoroughly loving, joyous, and abundant life as an example to others. What we are trying to fix in others is often what we need to fix. Just to repeat, what we try to fix in others is what we need to fix in ourselves.